The afternoon sun cast long shadows through the windows of the Pinewood County 911 dispatch center. Nicole Peters adjusted her headset, the familiar weight comfortable after 23 years on the job. A half-empty cup of coffee sat beside her computer, her third today. She'd answered 17 calls since her shift began. A fender bender on Main Street. An elderly man with chest pain. Teenagers setting off fireworks in the park. Routine emergencies in a town where everybody knew everybody. Just 2 more hours, she whispered to herself, glancing at the clock. The phone rang. Nicole straightened, muscle memory taking over. 911. What's your emergency? Silence greeted her, then a small intake of breath. Hello, this is 911. Do you need help? Nicole's voice softened. Sometimes callers panicked, especially children. My dad and his friend. The voice was tiny, barely audible. A child, a little girl, maybe 6 or 7 years old. They were playing with me, but now my tummy really hurts. Please, can someone come? Something in the girl's tone made Nicole's skin prickle. 23 years of emergency calls had given her a sixth sense for when something wasn't right. I'm here to help, sweetheart. What's your name? Lily. The word came out as a whisper. Lily Evans. That's a beautiful name. Are your dad and his friend with you right now, Lily? A pause. No, they're in the kitchen. They're talking really loud. I'm hiding in my bedroom closet. Nicole typed rapidly, signaling her colleague to start tracing the call. You're very brave for calling, Lily. Can you tell me your address? It's the yellow house with the white fence, number 14. The girl's voice trailed off. That's great, Lily. Stay on the line with me, okay? While Lily described her house, Nicole dispatched Officer Dave Jenkins to the location. Dave was the best choice. A 20-year veteran with a gentle approach and special training for calls involving children. Lily, can you tell me more about your tummy pain? When did it start? This morning, but it got worse after lunch. I told Daddy, but he and Mr. Gregg were talking about grown-up stuff. They didn't listen. Her voice caught. Nobody ever listens. That last sentence sent a chill down Nicole's spine. It carried the weight of something bigger than just today's stomach pain. I'm listening, Lily. I promise. And I'm sending a very nice police officer to check on you. His name is Officer Jenkins. Will he make my tummy feel better? He'll make sure you get whatever help you need. In the background, Nicole heard a man's voice calling. Lily, where are you, kiddo? That's my dad, Lily whispered, her voice tightening with anxiety. I have to go. Please hurry. Lily, wait. But the line went dead. Nicole stared at her screen, the address confirmed. 14 Meadow Lane, the Evans residence, a yellow house with a white fence in a neighborhood where nothing bad was supposed to happen. She radioed Officer Jenkins. Dave, approach with caution. 7-year-old female complained of stomach pain, parents possibly neglectful. Something doesn't feel right about this one. As Dave's cruiser pulled away from the station, neither he nor Nicole could have predicted how this seemingly simple wellness check would unravel secrets hidden behind the perfect white fence of house number 14. Officer Dave Jenkins pulled his cruiser slowly along Meadow Lane, scanning the neat row of suburban homes. 20 years on the force had taught him that trouble could hide behind the prettiest facades. Number 14 stood out immediately. A cheerful yellow house with a white picket fence that needed fresh paint. Children's chalk drawings decorated the driveway. Hopscotch squares, a lopsided rainbow, a stick figure family holding hands. Dave parked and adjusted his uniform. He preferred a gentler approach with calls involving children, especially when the situation wasn't clear. He left his hat in the car but kept his badge visible. As he walked up the pathway lined with slightly overgrown daisies, before he could knock, the front door swung open. A man in his mid-30s stood there, dark circles under his eyes and 3 days' worth of stubble on his chin. Despite his disheveled appearance, his smile seemed genuine, if confused. Can I help you, officer? Mr. Evans, I'm Officer Jenkins with Pinewood County PD. We received a call from this address. I'm here to check that everything's all right. The man's brow furrowed. A call? There must be some mistake. Everything's fine here. From inside the house, another male voice called out. Who is it, Tom? It's the police, Tom Evans replied, his voice tightening. Something about a call from our house. A second man appeared in the hallway behind Tom, taller, better dressed, with a polished smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "I'm Greg Wallace, family friend." "There must be some misunderstanding, officer." Dave maintained his calm demeanor. "We received a call from a young girl named Lily. She mentioned having stomach pain." Tom's expression shifted from confusion to shock. "Lily called the police?" "My daughter is 7 years old, officer. She must have been playing around." "I'm so sorry for the trouble. Mind if I come in and speak with her just to make sure everything's okay?" Tom hesitated, glancing back at Greg, who gave a barely perceptible nod. "Of course," Tom said, stepping aside. "We have nothing to hide." The living room told a story of its own. Toys hastily shoved into a corner. Unwashed dishes on the coffee table. Framed photos of a woman with Tom's eyes and Lily's smile. Dave noticed how some frames were dusty, while others were meticulously clean, as if only certain memories were being preserved. "Lily's in her room," Tom explained, leading the way. "She's been quiet today, but kids get stomach bugs all the time." Dave followed, noting how Greg stayed close behind like a shadow with watchful eyes. Tom knocked gently on a door decorated with butterfly stickers. "Lily, there's someone here to see you." The door opened slowly, revealing a small girl with chestnut hair and mismatched braids and wide, uncertain eyes. When she saw Dave's uniform, something flickered across her face. Relief, then fear, then a carefully neutral expression no 7-year-old should have mastered. "Hi there, Lily. I'm Officer Jenkins. Someone called from this house saying their tummy hurt. Do you know anything about that?" Lily glanced at her father, then at Greg, then back to Dave. She clutched a worn teddy bear tighter against her chest. "I was just playing," she whispered. "I learned about 911 in school last week." "Lily," Tom's voice was sharp with embarrassment. "You know better than to make prank calls." Dave knelt to Lily's eye level, creating a momentary bubble between just the two of them. "Does your tummy still hurt, Lily?" For a heartbeat, her eyes filled with words she couldn't speak. Then she looked down at her teddy bear and nodded almost imperceptibly. "It's probably just that cereal she had," Greg interjected, his hand coming to rest on Tom's shoulder. "Kids, right? Always getting into things." Dave stood slowly, maintaining eye contact with Lily. "Mind if I speak with your daughter alone for a moment, Mr. Evans?" Standard procedure. Before Tom could answer, Greg stepped forward. "Is that really necessary?" Tom's had a rough time since losing his job. The last thing he needs is to feel like he's being investigated. Something in Greg's too smooth intervention raised Dave's internal alarm. 20 years of police work had taught him to recognize when someone was working too hard to control a situation. "It won't take long," Dave assured them, his tone pleasant but firm. "Just routine." As Tom reluctantly led Greg back to the living room, Dave noticed Lily watching their retreating figures with the careful attention of someone who had learned to read the room far too young. Whatever was happening in this yellow house with the white picket fence, Dave was certain of one thing. Lily Evans hadn't called 911 just to play pretend. When Officer Jenkins closed Lily's bedroom door, leaving just enough space open to be appropriate but private enough for conversation, the little girl seemed to exhale for the first time since he'd arrived. Her room was a study in contrasts. Colorful drawings taped haphazardly to the walls, toys neatly organized on shelves, and a bed with princess sheets made with military precision unusual for a 7-year-old. "I like your room," Dave said, taking a seat on the small chair by her desk while Lily perched on the edge of her bed. "Especially your drawings. Did you make all of these?" Lily nodded, clutching her teddy bear, a well-loved brown bear with one eye missing and a patch on its arm. "This is Mr. Whiskers. He keeps my secrets." Dave smiled gently. "That's very important, having someone to share secrets with." He leaned forward slightly. "Lily, I need you to know that you're not in trouble for calling 911, but I'd like to understand why you called. Is your tummy really hurting?" The little girl glanced toward the door, then back at Officer Jenkins. "It hurts here," she said, pointing to her abdomen. "But it also hurts here sometimes." Her small finger moved to point at her heart. "Can you tell me more about that kind of hurt?" Dave asked softly. Lily's eyes filled with tears that she blinked back quickly. "Since Mommy went to heaven, Daddy is always busy or sad. He tries to smile, but I can tell it's a pretend smile." She looked down at Mr. Whiskers. I made him breakfast yesterday. Cereal with bananas the way he likes, but he didn't eat it. He was talking to Mr. Gregg about responsibilities and fresh starts. Dave nodded encouragingly. That must have made you feel invisible. I tried everything they taught us in school, Lily continued, her voice gaining strength. I made special drawings for the refrigerator. I used my indoor voice. I even wrote a note and put it in his coffee cup. Her shoulders slumped. But Mr. Gregg is always there now, and Daddy only listens to him. Dave took out his notepad, making it seem casual. Mr. Gregg comes over a lot? Almost every day. He brings food sometimes, and they talk about grown-up things. Lily lowered her voice to a whisper. Yesterday I heard Mr. Gregg say, Tom, you have to think about your future. Some responsibilities are too heavy for one person. And Daddy looked at me funny after that. Dave felt a chill run down his spine. The words themselves weren't alarming, but context was everything. And how did that make you feel? He asked. Scared. Lily's voice was barely audible. Like maybe I'm the too heavy thing. She pulled a folded paper from her teddy bear's hidden pocket. I made this in school. It's about emergencies. Dave unfolded it to find a worksheet about when to call 911, complete with a gold star from the teacher. At the bottom, in careful handwriting, Lily had added, Call 911 when you're scared and nobody listens. My teacher said 911 is for when you need help and don't know what to do, Lily explained. I tried everything else first, I promise. Dave felt a tightness in his chest. 20 years on the force had taught him to recognize the difference between a child making mischief and a child making a desperate bid to be heard. You did the right thing, Lily, he assured her. Sometimes being brave means asking for help. A soft knock on the door interrupted them. Tom's voice came through. Everything okay in there? Lily's expression instantly shifted, a mask of cheerful normalcy sliding into place with practiced ease. Just fine, Mr. Evans, Dave called back. We're almost done. He leaned closer to Lily and spoke quickly but calmly. I'm going to talk to your dad now, but I'll come back to check on you soon. If you ever need to talk to me, you can always ask your dad to call the station and ask for Officer Jenkins. Okay. Lily nodded solemnly. As Dave stood to leave, she grabbed his hand with surprising strength. Officer Jenkins, you won't forget about me, will you? The question, so innocent yet so heavy with meaning, struck Dave to his core. Not a chance, Lily Evans, he promised. Not a chance. As he opened the door to face Tom and the ever-present Greg, Dave knew this was no longer a routine wellness check. Something was happening in this household. Perhaps not something illegal, but definitely something that had a 7-year-old girl desperate enough to call 911 to be heard. And Dave Jenkins had never been one to leave a call unanswered. Officer Jenkins stepped out of Lily's room with a practiced smile that revealed nothing of the concern building inside him. In the hallway, Tom Evans shifted nervously from foot to foot, while Greg leaned against the wall, arms crossed, looking more annoyed than worried. Mr. Evans, could we talk in the kitchen? Dave asked, his tone casual but firm. Of course, Tom replied, running a hand through his disheveled hair. Lily's not in trouble, is she? She's been through a lot since her mother passed. Dave noted how Greg immediately straightened, following them like a shadow. Why don't we make this just us parents for a moment? Dave suggested. Greg's smile tightened. I'm practically family.